Hello, Africa! Welcome to Sports Rush, the weekly podcast show bringing you the sports stories making local and global headlines. With two back-to-back home wins, Uganda are still in with a chance of qualification to the World Cup next year, following victory over Somalia on Monday. With Algeria dropping points away at Guinea, we'll discuss our chances. Elsewhere, the transfer window closed across Europe last week. We'll discuss what this means for the seasonal predictions now that the dust has settled on all the transfers. We are broadcasting from the SO Park in Chituburu, Entebbe, at the shores of Lake Victoria, just outside of Kampala, as we break down the two huge results for Uganda over the international break. My name is Joel. This is Sports Rush. Let's get started. Right, like you heard in the headlines, Uganda have had two absolutely huge wins this international weekend, as they definitely kept their hopes alive of reaching the World Cup next year in the United States, Mexico and Canada for the first time in the nation's history. The Cranes played Mozambique on Friday in Kampala, winning that game 4-0 with goals from Okello, a scorcher from Allan Okello and a brace from Rogers Mato, before taking on Somalia 3 days later on Monday, still at the Nelson Mandela National Stadium in Kampala. A 2-0 win for Uganda with the scorers of Allan Okello and Jude Ssemugabi, ensuring Uganda took all 3 points. Our senior international football editor, Solomon Allan, is here with me to help me break down this game. Solomon, the biggest takeaway is that Uganda is still in with a chance of qualification.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's thanks to Guinea, who played out Algeria to a goalless draw last night. That game was played in Morocco. That point meant that Algeria are 4 points ahead of Uganda, who are second in the group. And that means Algeria is not yet automatically qualified for the World Cup next year. Qualification is not in our hands, definitely. But if we can win both our remaining 2 games, with one of them against Algeria, then if we don't quite manage to overtake the group leaders, then we surely would be in with a chance of qualifying for the playoff. Remember, in this qualification format by CAF, for the expanded 48-team tournament, Africa was allocated 10 slots, and only those that top each of the 9 groups will qualify to the World Cup directly, while there will be a playoff of the 4 best second-place teams. And Uganda will have to be nearly perfect from here if they are to be in the United States, Mexico, and Canada next year.
And Solomon, if we are to talk about the game itself that happened last night, obviously, the biggest talking point is the team that started. There was this huge talk about the centre-back pairing of Okello and Jordan Obita. They looked really brilliant in the heart of defense. Who impressed you more? Was it that partnership of Okello and Jordan Obita, or the midfield partnership of Kenneth Semakula and Captain Khalid Aucho?
Well, Kapradosi and Obita had a really good game, but they weren't really tested by Somalia. And I will give this credit to the midfield of Aucho and Semakula.
Yes, Kenneth Semakula.
Yeah, they had a really good game in the midfield, especially defensively. So I will say the midfield wins this one.
So how about the fullbacks? We saw Toby Sibik, who plays for Baton Albion in the championship. He looked very well making his debut for the Cranes in right back. But the other left back impressed as well in Aziz Kayondo, because remember, he's the one who was fouled for the penalty. But still, it was also Kayondo who delivered that cross before Ssemugabi scored in the rebound after the striker in Mukwala had failed to score. Who impressed you the most? Was it the right back or the left back in terms of the fullbacks?
Well, they both had a good game, and they both have different playing styles. If you look at them, the right back in Sibic plays as more an inverted fullback. That means that he gets the ball from right back and drifts in midfield, while the left back in Kayondo is more a direct fullback, attacking the opposition box. And like you said there, it was the reason as to why we had the penalty in the first place. And he brought in that sweet cross, which resulted into a goal. So they both had a good game.
Yes, so our next game is we play away at Botswana, while Algeria play away at Somalia. We would definitely be hoping that Somalia do something against Algeria, although it looks to be a tall order. Somalia don't even play their home games in Somalia, so it will be kind of a tall order. But then it might still come down to the last game where we play Algeria in Algiers to determine who will top the group. Do you think Somalia stand any chance?
As a neutral fan, I would prefer the last option we're given to happen. But Somalia don't have a chance against Algeria. Let's be honest. They are the last in the group. They only have 1 point, which means they have lost to every group, every team they are within the group. So our chances are slim right now, and I expect Algeria to go and win that game. Maybe we shall qualify through the playoff.
Yes, because remember, like you mentioned, the playoffs are for the 4 best runner-ups from the 10 groups. So they'll play a playoff and determine who will be the 10th. Because like you mentioned, it's only the top group leaders of all the 9 groups that qualify automatically, right? So that is Uganda Cranes for you. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the European leagues and the transfer window. Keep it at Sports Rush. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let's come back.